Sex is everywhere, okay? It is all around us. It's not some distant destination. It's not Everest. It is right here. You have to attune yourself to it. You have to bring yourself into alignment. You have to find the zone, Nick, okay? Do that, and I promise you, a whole world will open up.
We've all known this guy.
Hey, roses.
Bravado in every gesture. So self-assured, it feels delusional.
Oh, get away from me.
Come on, for symmetry.
No, not a chance.
You despise him. But part of you wishes you had even an ounce of his confidence.
I want it, okay? Just stop.
This is Roger Dodger. Released in 2002, Roger Dodger premiered at the inaugural Tribeca Film Festival, where it won Best Narrative Feature. An audacious debut from first-time writer-director Dylan Kidd. The premise is simple.
Roger, no.
After breaking up with his lover and boss, a slick-talking ab man takes his teenage nephew out for a crash course in seduction. What starts as a straightforward setup becomes something far richer, a study in self-delusion. A film about how charm, intellect and persuasion can become armour, and what happens when that armour starts to crack. Roger, played by a so good he should have been Oscar-nominated Campbell Scott, believes life is a game with obvious rules. But as the night unfolds, so does he. Through tight cinematography, relentless pacing, and razor-sharp performances, we see a man whose tactics are failing him. Either he's aging out of the game, or deep down, quietly hoping for a different one. So who is Roger, really?
What's happening right now is important only in the context of our continuing evolution as a species.
Surrounded by smoke and a bygone-era boozy lunch at work, Roger begins laying out his doctrine, and we start to understand not who he is, but who he wants to be seen as.
You heard me. Point north, quick. North, quick. North. Are you right?
Is he right?
He's right.
Very impressive.
Oh. As she has throughout history, the female responds to the male who displays the most utility. By honing those skills which make me useful, I stave off my inevitable obsolescence.
Roger is a proto-Don Draper. He moves through the world on charisma and intellect. Every conversation is a chance to win, to sell, to assert.
What? I'm done.
Small talk isn't small, it's strategy. He practices what he preaches. Emotional distance, verbal dominance, total control.
Love you, Peter.
But it's a tightrope act. And when his carefully managed relationship with his boss flames out, the cracks show.
I meant we need to stop seeing each other.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
For once, Roger meets his match. Someone with more power, more options, and no need for his game. A rejection doesn't just hurt, it breaks his logic. His worldview can't accommodate failure. Even the souvenir he swipes from her bedroom, somewhat creepy, sure, reveals something accidental. He did develop feelings. Maybe even real ones.
You know what? We don't understand each other. I'm her boy. I'm her boy, okay? Who are you? Who are you?
He just doesn't know what to do with them. And so, like a man refusing to grieve, he bar hops through New York, alone, a sign he might not have any real friends to reach out to, lashing out at strangers and treating every woman as another chance to reclaim what he lost.
I could tell you that given a week to study your father and the ways in which he ignores you, I could come up with a shtick you'd be helpless to resist. Helpless.
Before we go any further, I think it's important to make the case that Roger isn't a misogynist. Not in the cartoonish, hate-fueled sense.
So what do you do when you're not reducing the world?
What's wrong with reduction? What's wrong with boiling things down to their essence? What's wrong with seeing what's really going on?
Yes, his obsession is woman. His ego is built on seduction. But it's not about dominance. It's not about gender. In his mind, everyone is a transaction. Everyone is for sale, including himself. What looks like cruelty is often misdirected unhappiness. That doesn't excuse his behavior, but it does help explain it. In most films like this, where a naive kid is guided by a world-weary mentor, there's growth for both parties. The kid toughens up, the mentor softens, and somewhere along the way, someone cries about their dad. But Roger Dodger doesn't deal in those kinds of absolutes.
That happened because your grandfather's a king-size prick.
Nick, played by Jesse Eisenberg in his screen debut, is Roger's teenage nephew.
Uncle Roger, how's it going? It's standing meditation. It calms me down.
He's kind-hearted, bookish, and just insecure enough to think Roger might actually be the shortcut. He's not trying to figure out how to be a man. He just wants to lose his virginity.
So, Nick, you need some help with the ladies?
And over the course of one long, strange night, he gets pulled into his uncle's orbit.
If you can't see how the two things are related, Nick, there's nothing I can do for you.
Roger, for his part, treats the night like a live-action seminar.
Do you think this is all a big joke?
A chance to pass down his philosophy, seduction as salesmanship, charm as dominance, emotional detachment as strength. In any other film, Roger would be the protagonist. But because Nick initiates the journey, Roger shifts in our view.
Yeah, this is good.
Less mentor, more antagonist. A dormant thread, activated by rejection and ego.
Loss of inhibition is crucial to your success tonight, okay? Alcohol has been a social lubricant for thousands of years. What do you think, you're going to sit here tonight and reinvent the wheel? Please.
At first, Nick plays along. He listens, he imitates, even tries a line or two.
That I can get somebody to, fall in love with me.
But what sets Roger Dodger apart is that Nick never really buys in. The crux of the film unfolds over one night and breaks into three key stages of Nick's journey with his uncle. The nightclub, the boss's party, and the failsafe. Each one charts Roger's descent and Nick's quiet resistance. At the nightclub, it's Nick's sincerity, not Roger's performance, that actually gets a woman's attention. At the party, while Roger self-destructs, Nick quietly steps away from a drunken woman and leaves her covered and disturbed. And at the brothel, the so-called failsafe, Roger finally pulls back. Not out of redemption, but maybe recognition of how far he's fallen and how little Nick deserves to follow. Roger Dodger becomes a kind of anti-coming-of-age story. The lessons on offer are hollow. The experience isn't transformative, it's cautionary. And by the end, even the teacher seems to have lost faith in his own material. One of the most striking and often most divisive elements of Roger Dodger is its cinematography. Nearly every shot is tightly composed, shot on long lenses that flatten the background and pull the world in around Roger. He creates a constant sense of compression, as if we're all being dragged into his orbit, whether we want to be or not. From the first scene to the last, the film resists establishing context. There are no sweeping cityscapes or wide office shots. Locations blur in and out, not because they're unimportant, but because the film isn't about where Roger is. It's about what's happening inside him. 99% of it is handheld, with a loose, faux observational feel. The camera is always moving, drifting, adjusting, searching. It mirrors Roger's own inability to sit still, to stop talking, to stop performing. It's his existential crisis, rendered visually. While most of the film keeps us tethered to Roger, there are a few rare POV shots, particularly early on, that align us with Nick's perspective. They place us in his shoes just long enough to feel the awkwardness, the hesitation, the pull of Roger's charisma. It's a subtle cue. We're watching the world as Nick does, curious, unsure, unconvinced.
But the party?
Going handheld, especially on long lenses, is the kind of stylistic choice that splits viewers. You either give in to the motion, or start to feel it. But because the film is so visually relentless, the few moments it breaks pattern become quietly devastating. There's one shot in the film that is actually locked off, with only a small dolly in on Roger after Nick has left him. It's quiet, controlled, stable. Roger can't run anymore. and for just a moment, the film stops running with him.
But no, don't. Okay, here's your chance.
What are you talking about? Why did you say
Good
that?
cop, bad cop.
It's worth talking about the one thing that truly anchors Roger Dodger, Campbell Scott.
I'm just telling you the truth as I see it. You want to go fuck your boss? What business is it of mine?
Scott had been working steadily in film and theatre since the early 90s, often cast as intelligent, emotionally guarded men. The son of Hollywood legend George C. Scott, he inherited a kind of quiet intensity, less thunderous than his father, but just as commanding in a lower register. Few actors can sell the illusion of thinking and speaking simultaneously, but Scott makes it look effortless.
So instead of taking steps to deal with their lives, instead of working to root out the real reason for their misery, they run out and buy a stupid-looking pair of cargo pants.
Most importantly, Scott doesn't play Roger as a villain. He plays him as a man performing competence to cover a slow motion collapse. The bravado may get the biggest applause, but it's in the quiet moments, the flicker of shame, the measured pauses, the moral hesitation, where the performance really lives. This should have been a career-making role. But while he's continued to work steadily both in film and on stage, he never quite got the moment that Roger Dodger seemed to promise. It remains a kind of buried calling card, a performance so sharp, so lived in, it feels impossible to top. I'll be honest, the first time I saw Roger Dodger, I didn't quite get it. The rapid-fire monologues and dated armchair misogyny, it grated. It still does in some ways. But with a few more grey hairs and a bit more mileage, I've come to appreciate Roger Dodger not for the endless verbiage, but for the quieter cracks that show beneath it. The nods to an alcoholic father.
Get me another scotch.
The ache of loneliness. The slow disillusionment with a persona that once worked and now just wears him out. He's not quite in a midlife crisis, but you can feel the seeds of one being sown. Roger Dodger was a bold debut for writer-director Dylan Kidd. Sharp, confident, tonally precise. All the more striking, knowing he never made anything quite like it again. It's rare to find adult films that walk the line this well, between cynicism and empathy, bluster and vulnerability. Roger talks a big game, but it's the slow, quiet collapse that reveals the truth and makes him worth revisiting.
Contribute to the pathetic, heartbreaking predictability of it all by all means.
I've been lulling you into a false sense of security, and this was a film you forgot. If Roger Dodger slipped under your radar, you're not alone. What other hidden gems deserve another watch?